Welcome, I'm Respect Gwenzi for Equity Access. In our special focus, we look at CBZ Holdings, Zimbabwe's largest banking group, as they released their half-year results to June 2016, setting the stage for the earnings season. CBZ Holdings controls CBZ Bank, Zimbabwe's largest commercial bank by asset size, with assets in excess of 2 billion. It also controls CBZ Building Society, Dadvest Asset Management, CBZ Insurance, and other related businesses. All subsidiaries, with the exception of CBZ Insurance, are 100% owned by CBZ Holdings. It is important to note at this point that all its operations are profitable, despite two of the key operations reporting a slowing down performance in the half-year period.
With total assets closing the period at 2.069 billion, a 4.8% increase on December figure of 1.97 billion. Total deposits increasing by 5.3% to 1.77 billion, and total shareholders' funds increased by 4.2 to 272.8 million. The decrease in funds under management was contained to 1.2% against 12% decrease in the industrial index.
From the interim's results, it is quite evident that the Zim operating environment is tough and the group has been able to withstand pressure. The market, however, always looks at CBZ Bank with microscopic lenses due to its proximity to government and a historical lax lending approach which taints earnings quality. The half-year was characterized by liquidity challenges, trade imbalances, inflationary pressures, even as aggregate demand softened. Subsequently, CBZ Holdings' results mirrored a struggling economy as both income and profitability eased by a double-digit margin. Fee and commission income beat our expectations, rising by 13% to 31 million as transaction volumes increased amid cash rations.
The group total income decreased by 11.1% from 82.3 million to 73.2 million due to regulator position on interest rates and charges, as already been indicated by Mr. Nyamoso. The 1.9% increase in expenditure was, among other issues, driven by the focus on transactional volume growth that has been demonstrated by the Group CEO. The group is seriously focusing on cost containment, given the pressure on revenues, and going forward, we should see a decline in total expenditure and an improvement in the cost-to-income ratio from the current 72.2% between 55 and 60%. It is therefore pleasing to report a profit after tax of 11.9 million for the half year.
Profitability declined by 13% to 11.9 million, while impairment marginally declined to just under 1%. NPLs were flat at 7.2%. Subdued performance was as a result of a decline in interest income, which in turn was weighed by underperforming money market instruments. In the interim period, net interest income declined by 18% to 38.6 million, and this was despite a growth in loans and advances as well as sustained money market exposure. Loans and advances stood at 1.02 billion, which is a marginal growth on the comparable period last year. Likewise, aggregate money market investments closed the period 11% up on last year at 746.3 million. The increases, however, did not yield incremental revenue as bankers' acceptance placements failed to perform. Treasury bills, which now accounts for 90% of total money market placement, stood at just above $500,000 as at half year. CBZ's growing appetite for TBs is viewed with suspicion as risk-averse investors fear for the West for CBZ and the banking sector in general. The bank holds about a third of the total TBs in the market, which are believed to be in the range of about $1.5 billion. How do you look at TBs with relation to what you hold right now?
What is critical and very important to understand is what is the capacity of CBZ to hold those treasury bills to maturity. Number two, what is the impact, if any, of those treasury bills on the income earning capacity of the group? So the two questions are very positive for us. With the balance sheet of 2 billion, we have capacity to hold those treasury bills to maturity. And at the same size of balance sheet, we also have other wide diversified range of income sources, such that the 5% we are receiving on treasury bills is actually considered clean income, tax-free, effective yield 8%. So it's actually much better than lending money under the current environment.
Despite the decline in the bottom line, an interim dividend of 1.6 million was declared, up from 1.1 million last year. The finance director, Mr. Chimutsa, gave a financial review which began by looking at the targets set as the year opened.
Rate of earnings, this slide demonstrates the level of interest in suspense at 25 million, half-year payment charge of 9.2 million, provisions at 52.3 million, and non-performing loans at 78.9 million.
The company, however, painted a gloomy picture in terms of fee and commission income, which they said was likely to decline as the full impact of the recent regulation by the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe filters. On the sidelines of the briefing, I went up close to Neva and had a brief exchange on some of the pertinent issues affecting operations, as well as details on regional opportunities that the company is exploring.
The local environment continues to face a number of challenges, and as such, it becomes very important that we are able to diversify our sources of income. We are predominantly local, and we are now seeking opportunities in the region. So as we speak, we have identified destination countries into which we want to go, and we are currently reviewing a number of opportunities that are before us, which we are going to consider so that we can start our program of going outside Zimbabwe. So this is not only going to be limited to the region, but as we gain more confidence and more experience in doing business outside the Zimbabwean borders, we will certainly spread our wings across the world.
On the cash crisis,
it's not only limited to CBZ, but it's countrywide. So we appreciate the understanding of our clients, but that does not take away our responsibility to make cash available to them. So consistently over the past month, we've been paying at least $200. But what is also important is if a client requires much more than the daily limit, they can always approach their branch in advance, advise the branch, and in most cases, we have always assisted our clients. But let me also hasten to say, the current challenges have also made us as a country to look at other alternative payment platforms. And this has gone a very long way in the promotion of plastic money. And to date, the bank has deployed a lot of platforms, be it POS machines, the CBZ Touch, anything mobile that facilitate our clients to transact without the need for cash.
Conclusively, we concur that the outlook for CBZ and the banking sector in general is gloomy, and trading in such securities should discount for this and other eventualities that may arise. Government's bid to clear international debt may result in a new lease of life for the economy. At this point, these gestures are not convincing, and we remain bearish on the short-term outlook. For Equity Axis, I'm Respect.